so I've got a dirty little insider's confession to make right now. The beautiful family that you just saw with the kids, that's actually not my family. The car that I was driving around, that's not my car. This fancy mansion overlooking the beautiful San Jose area in Costa Rica, this isn't actually my mansion. So what the heck am I doing? Here's what's up. My name is Shakir Hussain. I'm a 25-year-old internet millionaire. And just a short 18 months ago, I was broke, buried in debt, hopeless, frustrated, and disappointed. My friends and family were laughing at me, and I was humiliated beyond words. And why was that happening? Because very simply put, I had started an internet business, and within 2 years, all the money that I had made, because I was young and immature and irresponsible, I had lost all that money. So I was back down to not even zero, but I was below zero. And I was frustrated, overwhelmed, and looking for a way out. And at that moment, a random stranger from New York found me online and started harassing me to watch this entire presentation video to join this system that you're about to watch right now before you join. Now, I didn't make millions of dollars overnight. My first week, I made around $700, and then the second month I made over $5,000, and then it went up to $25,000 a month, then it went up to $50,000 a month, and then within 12 months, I generated as much as $100,000 per month. Okay, and all of this income is 100% verified. So I've pulled in over $1.1 million in commissions, and right now I want to invite you to take advantage of the same exact system. And this mansion, the car, and the wife, and the family that you just saw all belongs to my mentor. Meet the guy behind it all, David Wood.
Hey, this is David Wood, and I'm speaking to you from my home in the mountains of Escazú, Costa Rica. Real quick, before I get into the content of this video, to really understand it, I've got to share my story and kind of how I got here. I got started building businesses from home in 2002, probably like a lot of you have at one point or another in your life. When I got started, I basically had a sponsor, and I called him and I said, how do I build the business? And what he told me to do was what everybody tells you to do, which is make a list of your family and friends, invite them over to your house for a meeting, and kind of pull out a whiteboard. Well, the problem was I lived in Phoenix, Arizona, and all my family and friends were scattered around the world because I just got home from a 2-year mission trip in England, and all the friends that I had either had no money, right, didn't want to do a home business, right, or they were in other states, so I couldn't really invite them over to my house for a meeting. So what happens? I called my sponsor and I said, you know what? I don't have family and friends here. What do I do? And he said, go meet new family and friends. Just walk around and meet people. For the next 7 years, I failed at about everything that you could imagine, attempting to make money from home, and I was never able to do it. I tried prospecting, I tried home meetings, I tried making lists of people that I know, I tried passing out flyers, I tried doing hotel meetings, and everything that I ever did ended back at zero. In fact, I failed so bad and I spent so much money on random stuff that in 2009, I didn't even have a home anymore. So when we're talking about building a business from home and making money from home, my home was the van that I lived in on the North Shore of Oahu, Hawaii. Well, one night something happened. I'm going to tell you a little bit later in this video, but I reached a turning point in my life. I reached a point where I had to reach down inside myself. I had to make a new decision about my future. And I also discovered something. I discovered a strategy and a series of principles that enabled me to finally start having success. 90 days after making that decision in 2009, building my business entirely on the internet, without home meetings, without prospecting, without any of the normal strategies that you normally hear about when you're watching videos like this one, I had a night where I made $12,500 in a night. That week, I made over $25,000. That was in 2009. I started having weeks where I was making $5,000 and $10,000 working entirely from my home, selling products on the internet. But there was a problem, and what was the problem? The problem was I was able to succeed, and I was building teams, and I was teaching people what to do, but what I was doing was so complicated that nobody could replicate my success. Nobody could duplicate it. And so I'd get a person in my business and I'd say, hey, what are your dreams and goals? You know, what are the 5 things you would do, have, or become if time and money were an issue? And what was the problem? The problem was they couldn't do what I was doing. And for me, I got discouraged because for me, my dream, I'm gonna talk about it in a little bit, is to help other people, to help them reach their dreams and goals. So I actually made a decision 2 years later in 2011, I'd been making hundreds of thousands of dollars a year for a couple of years, made a decision that if I can't teach people how to do this, if I can't help people succeed, I quit. I'll go back to being homeless. I'll work at Safeway or Walmart. I'll go get a job at Starbucks, and I will just be one of the lowest paid people in the world and be happy with it because I'm not gonna sell thin air. That makes sense? Well, so I started thinking about it, and I started thinking about it, and I started thinking about the way that I was able to kind of sell products without phone calls and be able to build a business in countries and languages all around the world where I could get people in my organization 5 levels down, 1,000 miles away, and people were buying things from me that I'd never even talked to in my life. I'd been thinking about how I was able to move to my dream location in the world, which was Costa Rica, and live in the beach and then live in the mountains and be able to travel and meet successful people. And then one day I had an idea, right? And the idea brought together a series of concepts and principles that allowed me to take my success and replicate it through other people, which leads us to why you're watching this video that you're paying attention to right now. Now, what happened from that idea? Let me tell you what happened, and then I'm come back and I'm gonna show you how it works. I started off by getting a room full of people together and telling them about my vision. There was 37 people in the room. That month, those 37 people, utilizing these strategies, turned into 8,000 people and over $1 million in commissions paid out. Over the series of the next 6 months, we paid out more than $10 million in commissions. We gathered together at our first big event. We had 1,250 people in Atlanta, Georgia in June of 2012. 3 months later, we gathered together again, right? This time in San Diego, California. In San Diego, California, we had 2,400 people. 3 months later, we gathered together again. This happened in Austin, Texas. In Austin, Texas, we had 3,400 people. 3 months later, we gathered again, and this was in Chicago, Illinois. We had 4,500 people. And it just kept getting bigger and bigger and bigger. It grew from 8,000 to 10,000 to 30,000. And today, using our strategies, we've now involved over 300,000 people around the world in the last 2.5 years, utilizing the strategies that you're going to learn in this video. What's the results though? The result is this. Over the last 2.5 years, I have now helped 143 people make over $100,000 in their business. I've helped 43 of those make over $500,000. Of those, 13 of them have made over $1 million using these strategies. So I know a lot about how to teach people to succeed making money from home and building a business from home and making money on the internet. I know what works and I know what doesn't work. So what have I discovered over the last couple of years, over the last handful of years being in this industry and succeeding at a massive level, what have I discovered about what it really takes to make money from home? Number one, you need a good company, and you need a company specifically that has a vision that includes you. See, a lot of companies have a vision like, we're gonna be $1 billion giant. I'm sure you've heard pitches like that. People are so excited about how big the company is gonna be, or they have a vision like, we're gonna do this, the company's gonna do this. You gotta be involved with a group of people in a company that has a vision that includes you. That's number one. And if you don't have that, you're not gonna stay in the deal. Number two, you've gotta have great products that have a market. Now, you don't need to have a product that everybody wants to buy. This is where people get screwed up. Hey, look, here's the deal. You're watching this video. If you don't want to buy our products and you don't want to join, it's fine. Don't join and don't buy. It's not that big of a deal to me, because if you're not going to buy, I know you're not in my market. I learned something a long time ago, and that's if you're selling to everyone, you're actually selling to no one. So you need great products, and they need to have a big enough market to be able to reach your vision and reach your goals and help your people reach their vision and goals, right? Here's the next thing though, and this is a biggie. You need a way where you can make money being a part of it, where you actually get to make a lot of money in the deal. Most home businesses that you've looked at, and I know you've probably been involved in one, and how do I know? I know because you're watching this video, because last year, over 50% of North America bought a product from a direct sales company, so I know that you've seen it or you've been involved with it or you've at least thought about it. And if you look at all the things that you've been involved with, what does it look like? You get 5 people to get 5 people to get 5 people, and then 7 levels down, there's 78,000 people, and you earn a little cut off of all of them. What's the problem with that? You need an unbelievable amount of people, an unbelievable superhuman amount of customers to make any money at all. If you have 1,000 people, you might make $1,000 a month. You're never going to build a great future like that with a system like that. So you need something you can actually make a lot of money from. What else do you need? Here's the most important thing. You've got to realize that if you're watching this video and you want to make money from home, most people don't know how to sell. They don't know how to market. They don't know how to close. And so if the way that you're selling your products or the way that you're marketing them requires people to do those things, they can't do it. And so you've got to have a system, a marketing engine, a machine that helps people get sales, that helps people have success, whether they know what they're doing or not. You've got to have that in place if you really want to help people succeed. So who are we selling to and what's our market? Well, we market an Empower Network to the home business industry, the direct sales industry. And just to give you an idea of the market size of this industry alone, this profession alone, we do over $72 billion in sales a year just in the top 100 companies in the profession, over $72 billion a year. Out of that, there's 37 million active distributors around the world in the direct sales profession. In just North America alone, this profession grows. It grows, not adds, it grows by 300,000 people a year. In North America, in the United States, there are 15.9 million active affiliates and distributors. To give you an idea, that's 1 in 20 people that you see in a street corner. So if you're walking down the street, you see 20 people, 1 of them is in a home business. We are including children, we're including women who are staying at home, we're including everybody. 1 in 20 is doing this kind of a thing. And I'll tell you, out of the 1 in 20, guess how many of them know how to build a business like this and know how to actually make money? Almost none of them. Because they're not taught how to do it by the companies, they're not taught to do it by the distributors, they're not taught the strategies and the skills that I learned, that I'm about to teach you, that I discovered in 2009. So they're wandering around randomly prospecting people. I don't know if you've been randomly hassled before to look at a business, and it's been the most unattractive process that you've ever been through in your life. I don't know if you've ever been hammered by a 3-way call before. If you haven't, you're one of the few. Everybody else has been a part of that process. So that's the industry. So we help them solve their problems. More so though, what about you? What about the people around you? Who is our market really? And this is what I want you to think about, because if you're giving people an opportunity, who wants opportunity? Well, here's the question that I've got for you. How has the economy been affecting people over the last handful of years? The truth of it, the honesty of it. You know, when I was a kid, it was really rare, and this is just in 1981, it was rare to have both a mom and a dad that worked out of the home. We're talking about even people where the dad was like, he worked at the post office. He had a normal job. He was like a delivery guy or something like that. He could have a house, he could pay for a car, and he could only have one job and he could support a family. Today, it's not the case. People are running to and fro. There's no job security, right? The whole world has been turned upside down over the last couple of years. Everyone is living paycheck to paycheck with zero residual income if something bad happens to them. You know, a lot of people I talk to on a daily basis, they come at me and, you know, the truth is, if something happened to them, if they hurt their arm or they hurt their leg and they were out for a month, they'd go bankrupt, they'd lose their home, right? And why is that? Well, here's what I really want to convey to you, and here's what I really want you to understand. I want you to understand that that's not your fault, because you've been sold a bag of thin air. Look, if when I was a kid, my teacher came to me and they told me the truth, I don't know if I would have punched him in the face or kicked him in the groin. And here's why. What if somebody came to you and you were, you know, just going to school, just graduating from high school, and they told you this? Look, here's the deal, and I want you to listen to me, because I'm going to paint out the plan that I'm going to have for you over the course of the next 40 years. And here's the deal, and here's the plan, and I want you to listen and pay attention. If you will listen to me after you graduate high school, you can pay $40,000 to go to 4 more years of school. And if you really want to make a little bit more money, you can pay another $30 or $40 or $100,000 to go to 4 more years of school. And if you do that and you follow that process, you can go into an entry-level job where you're going to make $40,000 to $50,000 a year and pay off your student loans over the next 400 years. And over the course of your life, you're going to finally be out of debt by the time you're 60 years old. And then when you're out of debt and you're 60 years old and you finally get to retire in your golden years and you get to go live your dreams, you get to have the pleasure, the honest to God pleasure of cutting your income by 40 to 60% and trying to pay the bills that you can't pay anyways. Somebody told me that when I was a kid in school, I would have kicked them. You know what I mean? I took karate when I was growing up. And they say, why'd you kick me? I'd say, stop trying to scam me, is what I would have said, right? That's the reality of what people are going through in society, is people are on a plan that takes forever to find out it doesn't even work. Look, you might be uncomfortable watching this video right now, but here's what I've got to ask you. Look at the person who's 5 years ahead of you in the company that you work for and the profession you work for. And you know where you're going to be in 5 years? You're going to be where they're sitting. And if you don't like where they're sitting, then you need to change what you're doing. You make new decisions, and it's not your fault, because if you haven't had this information, you haven't had the tools to make good decisions about your life, the way you make money, the way that you're going to plan your future. So here's what you can expect over the next couple of minutes. By the end of this video, you're going to understand our market, and you're going to understand what products we sell. You're also going to understand how you make money from those products when you go out there and sell them. You're also going to understand our system, and you're going to know exactly what to do as a part of this presentation, that if you decide to take action and utilize these strategies, I'm going to help you make money in your business over the course of the next 30 days. You're going to understand how to do that. Here's the most important thing that you're going to understand, though. You're going to understand how to go live your dreams. You're going to understand how to go out there and accomplish great things in your life, maybe for the first time, because I'm going to give you the tools. Let me tell you about my vision and why I'm doing this. I am doing this because I have a dream. See this ring here on my left hand? We give these to our $1 million earners at Empower Network. Right now we have 13 of them, including myself, because I'm also a rep and I also sell our products and services. I lead by example because I want to show people what to do by doing it in front of them. We have 13 of them. My vision is to give these out 100 times a year. And to do that, I need to create 100 new millionaires a year in our organization, right? That's a lot of people having a minor level of success, and it's a lot of people who are making $100,000 a year, and a lot of people who are creating part-time incomes. In this video, I'm actually going to paint out 3 specific income levels that I'm going to show you how to attain in your business. One of them is a part-time income, where I'm going to show you, if you want to work this part-time, how with just 10 customers, you can make $1,250 a month. I'm going to show you, if you're working this business full-time, how with just 50 customers, only 50 total, how you can make $12,500 a month. I'm going to show you, right, that was with 100 customers. With 50 customers, I'll show you how to create a full-time income of $6,250. See, I got to create a lot of little success to create a lot of big success. It's my vision. My vision is to pack events. I've packed events with 5,000 people, and they're getting bigger and bigger and bigger. I will have events with 15,000 people in languages that I don't speak going on simultaneously with events going on in North America. I have a big dream, but here's the biggest reason why I'm making this video and why I'm talking to you today. Because my vision is you. It's you creating the success that you want, the financial results that you want. It's you having a transformation inside to be able to change what's inside and be able to change what you can do on the outside. It's you dreaming again, because a lot of people get beaten down by society. They stop dreaming in their life, and it's you having the power to dream again in your life. It's you, more importantly, finally believing, maybe for the first time ever, because I believe in you. It's you believing in your dreams. Here's what I want you to understand, and then I'm going to introduce you to some people here real quick. What I am teaching in this video and what you're paying attention to has not just worked for me. I'm not teaching this because I want to get rich teaching it. I'm teaching it because I want to help you achieve your outcomes. So I'm going to share you some stories before we share the formula of some people, okay, that have listened to what I'm saying. Some people that have decided to take action on these philosophies, on these principles, on these skills. Some people that have decided to unite themselves with us, okay? And as a result of that, they have created transformations in their life. More importantly, though, financial transformations. They've made more money than they've ever made in their life. Now, before we continue, last thing I'm going to say, because I'm showing you these people and because of what I'm teaching, does not guarantee that you're going to make money. If that's what you're looking for, I don't want you in my company. Because here's the truth. These people I'm going to introduce you to, they've worked hard, they've followed a system, they've been willing to listen. They were not looking for a lottery. So I want you to look at our average earnings as you're getting in, if you're deciding to get in, and if you don't like that, if you don't like the way that I talk, then you don't have to join. It's not a big deal. Let me introduce you to some of the people that have decided to take action on this formula.
My name is Jessica Rush, and I am from Alabama.
My name's Jose Rivera, and I'm from San Diego, California.
My name is Nicole Cooper. I currently live in Memphis, Tennessee, but I'm originally from Los Angeles, California.
Hey guys, my name is Sophia Rashkin. I'm from Denver, Colorado.
My name is Peter Sorensen. I'm from Las Vegas, Nevada.
Hey friends, Toby here, one part Toby and Layla, originally from Scotland but living in Canada.
Hey, my name is Chuck Marshall and I am from Vancouver, Washington.
My name is Arthur Tubman from New York City.
My name is Kevin Connect. I'm from Atlanta, Georgia.
Hi, my name is Melissa Connect. I'm from Atlanta, Georgia.
What's up, everyone? My name is Chris Record from Northern California.
Tony Rush from Dothan, Alabama.
My name's Aaron Rashkin, Denver, Colorado.
My name is Tracy Walker and I'm from Atlanta, Georgia.
Hi, my name is Lawrence Tam, born and raised in Houston, Texas. And before I joined Empower Network, I'm actually in engineering, mechanical engineering.
My first impression with Empower Network was, oh no, not again.
I honestly didn't know what to think of it quite at first, but I was intrigued.
Honestly, I thought it was a scam. I saw this guy with long hair, and he just looked like a stoner to me.
My first instinctive response was, this is the ugliest website I've ever seen in my life.
The first video I saw of David Wood was him running out in the ocean in Costa Rica, screaming and yelling with his hair frizzing everywhere, so I really didn't know what to think about it, to be honest.
I heard about it from my husband. He actually got started without my knowledge.
I actually started without telling my wife. You can start for $25, you can start for $100 without telling your wife.
When we first looked at it, we're like, oh, another one of those things that we're all just going to jump in, make some short-term money, and that's it.
You know, there's a lot of people making a ton of money, and I just wanted to know whether or not if it was for real.
Gut feeling about Empower when I first heard about it was, you know what? Let's give it a shot.
So I will admit, at first, a little bit sketched out, a little bit skeptical, but as I looked more into it, I found out this is the real deal.
When I joined Empower, I was at a spot where I wasn't happy with what I was doing, and I really wasn't making a ton at that exact point in time.
I hit this emotional wall where I just could not grind anymore. For about 90 days, I could not work.
My wife, Melissa, and I actually filed bankruptcy. So we were pretty skeptical and pretty gun-shy.
We had pretty much no money in the bank at all.
We were doing things that we didn't love to do, want to do, and we felt like we were a slave to the things that we were doing.
I was coming off a pretty big death in my family, and we were at a pretty low point.
I had a background in real estate. That all crashed on me. You know, I was in a situation where I'd gone through foreclosure, massive debt.
I had a negative bank account, a 485 credit score. I was rear-ended in a car accident. I was left with whiplash. At that point, I had sort of hit rock bottom.
Over 6.5 years ago, I was sitting in prison, and I was in a position where I had to basically rebuild my life.
We're living in the basement of a bar. We had no money, we had no future, we had no security. We were basically alcoholics, drinking our life away.
Had no list, no online internet marketing experience, didn't do any paid advertising.
I flew out to Atlanta, Georgia to go to my very first event for Empower Network, and I realized that there was a real community, real people getting real results. It wasn't just a couple guys in a website.
I'm surrounded by a community of people in a business that is extraordinary. It's the best thing I've ever been a part of in my entire life.
When we went to the first event and then the second event, that was when everything clicked. That's when we had our aha moment.
We were very part-time in the beginning, and it wasn't until we realized that we were making $20,000 a month that it really got our attention.
I gave birth to my son a month and a half after being in Empower Network. Within that 6-week period, I made 18 grand.
I knew I had it when in the first week I made $9,000.
I'm seeing Facebook comments that are saying, wow, I made $3,000 overnight.
In Power Network, I did $10,000 my first night while on vacation, taking my kids out in San Antonio.
First month, I was able to make $10,000 with Empower Network.
This company, this system, this movement has made a tremendous impact on my life financially.
2 to 3 hours a day to make $40,000 every single month. I mean, who does that and where else can you do that?
Just think about a time in your life where you're like, I'm here, or it makes sense, or this is exactly where I'm supposed to be.
You know, it's not about selling the product, it's about selling the journey.
This is unlike any of those millions of other things we've seen.
Wherever you're at in your life right now, understand that it's 100% real.
You know, we're getting Facebook notes and messages and emails, having conversations with people that are making as much as $10,000 in their first 5 or 6 weeks.
I've learned the true concept of not working for money, but getting your money to work for you.
Doing the right things, I finally found a system that was going to back me up and help make it all possible.
It's 2 hours, it's following a really simple system that anybody can do.
When I got into this business, I did what you told me to do, and I made money.
I've made approximately $406,000.
I was making about $30,000, $35,000 every single month.
And my earnings about $60,000.
I just bought a new Maserati.
Our best month was like $60,000 or $70,000 for the month.
Financially, it's been an amazing blessing. I've hit over 110 grand.
I've done about $579,000.
In our 5th month in the business, we did $34,000.
A little bit over $300,000.
I've made around $125,000 so far with Empower Network.
My accountant came back and she was shocked that we don't really have overhead like a traditional restaurant or some traditional businesses. And she's like, you must spend this money.
Listen to all of the people that are making things happen and sharing the insight, because it doesn't matter where you come from, you can get there.
It's the attitude of believing, how can I, instead of I can't.
But it's no longer about my boss telling me how many days I can have with my wife or my kids.
You deserve it. You need to believe that you deserve it. You've got to want it and have the drive inside of you.
There's something inside of you that says, I deserve more, and yes, you do.
Have a belief and a mindset that you can do it. Don't discount yourself. You can absolutely do it. Take massive action. Just get up every morning and say, you know what? I'm going to give today my best.
You can't do that when you're on a salary and you're barely keeping enough just to maintain yourself.
You can do anything that you want. If you're ready to finally create results in your life, then just step up to the plate, take massive action, and do it.
There is nothing more joyful, fulfilling, and pleasing than being able to help anybody around you in any situation that they're in.
I fought the fight, made it worth it, made it happen, juggled everything, and just found a way. Where there's a will, there's a way.
I'm going to take action on the Empower products. I'm going to go through the 15K. I'm going to go through the master's course. I'm going to get all in.
Follow suit and just move forward, take action, and I'm thrilled. I'm excited. It's changed everything for me.
Hey there, this is Dave Wood again. Welcome back. As you can see, it's not just me that's making a lot of money. It's also a lot of the people around me, and the people who are listening to these strategies and are actually applying them are getting the biggest results. So now it's time to talk about what we're selling, how we're doing it, and how you can get results with it. So here's what we're selling. We have 2 main products that you're going to have the opportunity to buy, and then also we're going to talk about how to generate the incomes we talked about in this video. We have a product called the Viral Blogging System. We also have a product called the Inner Circle Membership. As a part of your Fast Start Kit that you're going to get access to when you get started, you're also going to get a Fast Start system, some marketing tools. You're going to get access to our affiliate system. So let's talk about each one of these. First of all, the Viral Blogging System. What is it? Well, that goes back to the breakthrough that I had in 2009 when my life just started taking off and I started making money like crazy. What did I learn and how did I apply it? I learned one concept that changed my life. It's a concept called target marketing. Basically, what I learned is that rather than trying to just sell to everyone, there are people that are actually hunting down the information that I'm trying to sell to them. They want to buy it. They literally have their credit card in their hand right now. They're sweating because they're looking to make a decision, and they're just looking for the right person to buy it from. I learned how, through utilizing viral blogging technology, to target those people and to capture them right at the moment when they're making a decision. Now, what I learned over the years after trying to teach tens of thousands of people to blogs, I learned that it's too technically complex to be able to do it. People either don't know technology or they don't have sales skills. And so we invested $3 million of my money into a piece of technology called the Viral Blogging System that is designed as a system where you can sell any products, any business that you're in, doesn't matter what it is, and we are going to help you create sales and create income like that in your organization by learning what it is that I did back in 2009. So that's the Viral Blogging System. It's the most powerful way to market on the internet. What's the inner circle? Well, to get to the inner circle, I got to tell a little story here for a second. Back in 2002, I met a guy when I first got in this profession who was making $500,000 a month. Now, to give you an idea of how much money that was, this guy had a private jet, and he'd flown to a meeting to 1,000 people in his private jet. The only reason he flew to that meeting in the jet was, in his own words, because he wanted to go home that night and eat dinner with his wife. So after the meeting, he actually got back in the jet and he flew back home to his wife. Now, I got a chance to corner this guy after the meeting and ask him, what's the secret? I'm going to tell you in just a second. What is the inner circle, though? The inner circle is an ongoing training system and an ongoing personal development system for the home business profession. In other words, if you have somebody that's got a home business, if you want to learn how to make money from home, this is an ongoing system to train you how to create success in your downtime as you're driving to and fro from work. Which brings me back to that story in the hotel. Got up to this guy and I was frustrated. I was like, I'm trying, and I'm not making any money. And I got up to him and I said, just teach me the secret, because I'm frustrated. And he goes, stop, clapped his hands, and I went like this. It's a weird way to respond, right? Well, what did he say next? He said, Dave, if you'll do two things only, and you'll promise me that you will do them, I promise you, you will not know what your life will be like 10 years from today. Now, one of those things that he told me was that from that moment on, I was required to turn my drive time into a learning university. He told me, if you want to create success whenever you're not doing anything, in your downtime, he said, while you're taking a shower, when you're driving in your car, he's like, this does not take any time out of your day. Be playing an audio in the background from somebody that knows how to do what you want to learn how to do. He says, if you'll do that, you will become an expert that will get paid more than anybody around you, more than anybody that you know in your life, and you'll stop talking like this too. So I took his advice. So where was I 10 years later? 2002, September time, 10 years after I met him, I was standing on a stage. In San Diego, California, in front of 2,400 people, and I remembered that conversation and that I had done it. And you know what I realized? That I couldn't have believed what I had accomplished over the last 10 years if you would have gone back in time and told that guy 10 years before. He was right. The problem with audio training is there's not a central place to do it. So you end up spending thousands of dollars. So we compiled this Inner Circle membership for that. Now, you also get a Fast Start system. What is that? That's an affiliate training that's designed to help you get started quickly, get into profit immediately, keep growing your organization, and more importantly, make as much money as you could possibly make in your business, specifically for Empower Network. It's going to come in your Fast Start pack. What else do you get? You get marketing tools, right? Like this DVD. And I want you to ask yourself a question. As you're watching this DVD, you're making a decision. And as your prospects watch this DVD, they're going to be making a decision too, which takes you out of the picture for needing to sell. If you can get somebody to watch this and ask a couple of questions, I'm going to show you how you could create any kind of income that you can imagine utilizing our technology, utilizing our marketing systems. What's the next thing that you get? This is the biggest, most important one. You get exclusive affiliate rights to be a part of Empower Network and to market all of our products and services, not just a couple. And there's more commissions that I'm going to lay out here. So what does all this cost together? Well, all of this together, and I'll break down each part individually a little bit later on, all of this together, the cost is $197 up front to get started, and that's going to include some marketing tools so that you can build offline, and also some online marketing tools. It's also going to include the Viral Blogging System and the Inner Circle membership and everything that we just talked about. And there's also more. I have some surprises for you that I'm going to talk about a little bit later. What's the ongoing cost? The ongoing cost is $144.95 per month, right? Now, out of this, it's going to pay you a commission of $125 a month, starting from when somebody purchases it, as long as they're a customer. Now, I want you to think about that here for a second, because I'm going to show you a model in just a second on how you can create really significant incomes off really small numbers of people. We're going to come back to this number. It's one of the most important things in this presentation. Here's an important thing, though. There's not any risk for you for making a decision. Because if you get started because you're excited, because you're like, you know, I like that guy, he's nice, or you say, you know, I like the vision, or, you know, I like the products, I want to be a part, or you say, I'm going to get rich quick, and you get cold feet, and you say, you know, I want out. If for any reason you want your money back, just tell us in the next 14 days, you get 100% of your money back, so it's not even a big deal to just make a decision and join, because there's no risk to you at all. Here's the next part of that, though, is realizing, okay, I've got it. I've got the commission part down. You show me how that works in a second, right? But I still think it's a little bit risky, or, you know, whatever. Let me actually show you how simple this is. So how do you build this is the question. We have an offline system for building. We have an online system for building, and each one of these systems has a lot of training to help you solve any problem you're going to run into. So what's the offline way? Well, this is simple. Number one, you're going to create a list of people that you have influence with, right? Step number one. Or we're going to teach you how to create a new list of people that you actually have influence with. Some people are saying, yeah, I don't have any influence, right? Or you're part of the NFL club. That means no friends left, right? We're going to show you how to create a sphere of influence. Step number two, get those people to watch this DVD. Why do you get them to watch this DVD? It takes you out of the equation. You don't have to do the selling, right? And they're going to be convinced to buy as they're watching this presentation, just like you are, right? And number three, you're going to ask 2 questions to them. What are the 2 questions? Question number one, what did you like best about what you saw? What did you like best about what you saw? What have you liked best so far? Just think about that for a second. Then they're going to answer. And then you're going to ask them, so it sounds like you're ready to get started. Now that second one doesn't sound like a question. Promise you it is, right? It sounds like you're ready to get started. You're just going to nod like this. And they're going to say, oh yeah. Just like after you watch this video, the person who invited you to look at it is going to ask you, what did you like best about what you saw? They're going to be nodding, and you're going to tell them, they're going to say, okay, sounds like you're ready to get started. And you're going to say, yeah, and then they're just going to sign you up. It's that simple to do. If you can do those 3 steps, you can enroll. This is how it's going to work. You're going to enroll, okay, so 2 questions. You're going to enroll anywhere from 1 out of 5 to 1 out of 3, depending on how confident you are. Not depending on the questions, not depending on the DVD. That's dependent on how confident you are. If you're totally unconfident, you get about 1 out of 5. If you're like me, you're going to get 1 out of 1, right? If you're like most confident people, you're going to get 1 out of 3, right? So I'm going to show you how that fits together in a model to create your dream lifestyle in here in just a second. So what's the online system? How do you build on the internet? It's the same. And that's the thing to realize. So what do you do on the internet? Well, step number one is you create a list of people you have influence with, and we're going to show you how to do that through our viral blogging system. You can do that. You can do that through all kinds of strategies that we have in the resource library that we have in our company. Step number two is you're going to send them to see this video on the internet, right? Step number three is you're going to, once again, ask them 2 questions. You're going to get them to join, right? 2 questions. So what's the 2 questions again? What did you like best about what you saw? And sounds like you're ready to get started. That's literally it. If you'll do that, you're going to get offline 1 out of 5 to 1 out of 3. On the internet, it's a little bit different. You're going to get 1 in 10, 1 in 15, depending on where you're getting your list, maybe 1 in 30, right? Because you're working with a lot more numbers and you're not having to work with everybody personally, right? So you can use these 2 models together. Obviously, I live in Costa Rica, so a lot of my building is done on the internet, but I also build offline, right? So this is all you have to do it, right? Now, here's what I'm going to start drawing out for you. Is I want you to think in terms of small numbers. Remember when I said 125 a month? And I talked to you, I was going to teach you how to build, number one, a part-time income, right, of $1,250 a month, right? Because that's part-time. Maybe you want to pay your mortgage. Maybe you want to pay your cars off faster, something like that. How many people does that take? 10 people, right? Normally, and I'm going to talk about this here in a second. I'm going to talk about organization. 10 people either that you get in this month or that are ongoing that are ordering every month. 10 people. We're not talking about like hundreds and hundreds of people, right? How do you make a full-time income, right? Now, I talked about a full-time income earlier, and I talked about a full-time income as being $6,250 a month. Well, how do you do that? 50 people. These are tiny numbers of people, guys. We are not talking about auditoriums full, all right? So 50 people, right? Now you say, well, Dave, that's a lot of people. Well, the full-time income, the average in North America is right around $3,000, right? That's about the average family income in North America. So cut it in half. 25 people is $3,125 a month. 25 people. If you're getting 1 out of 3 to 1 out of 5, can you get 25 people? Heck yeah, that's easy, right? We're not talking about like downlines in the hundreds of thousands. One time I had a downline of 1,000 people, right? 1,000. I had a team of 1,000 in an offline traditional company. I was making less than $4,000 a month. We're talking about 50 people doing this. That's crazy talk, right? Now, how do you make a professional level income, a 6-figure income, right? Well, I talked about earlier, $12,500, right? How many people is that? 100 people, right? 100 people. Now, that's a little bit more people. You're thinking, I don't know if I can do that, right? I got you, right? But maybe you also don't want to make that much money yet. That's fine. You can start at a smaller level if you choose. But after I draw out what I'm going to draw out next, this is just going to blow your mind how simple this is to do. Because you're selling products that meet a demand for 15.9 million people in North America. But who's our real market? Our real market is everybody struggling with the economy. Our real market is anybody that is sick and tired of being sick and tired. Our real market is all the people, they see this and they say, are you kidding me? For 10 people, I replace half my income. I can pay my mortgage on time. I could pay for my car. I could maybe go on a vacation once a year for the first time in my life. This is a small number, and those small numbers make this business work like I'm going to draw it now. So what do? Well, we have a commission structure at Empower Network, and it's called a coded bonus power line system. Now that's a mouthful, and the reason it's a mouthful is because I invented it, and I'm not known to be short with my words, but this is essentially how it works. You're going to, when you're building your team on the commissions for these specific products, you are going to pass certain commissions into a coded bonus, and you're going to receive those same commissions in a coded bonus from the people in your team. You're going to understand how it works in a second, so just hold on a second. The first thing I want to say, though, is that you don't have to understand how it works, because we had a guy, his name was Vic. Vic earned $2 million before he understood how this worked, because he didn't care how it worked. What he cared was the results he was going to get and how to create them, so he just went to work. So if you don't understand it, it'll work. This is what you got to do. So you go out, you make a list, you get people to watch this DVD, you ask them the 2 questions. So when you go out, you bring a person in. Well, sales 1, 3, 5, and then every 5th are the first one's a training sale, and the rest of them after that are team building sales. It's to incentivize your sponsor and your team to help you succeed. So when you go out there and you make a sale, your first sale, well, you're not going to earn the $125 a month, and that's okay, right? Why? Because the second sale, all of it goes to you, $125 a month, right? As long as that person keeps it. You've almost covered your cost with your second sale. So you pass this first one to whoever your sponsor is, right? Now here's the key, though, on the second sale. They also pass up their first sale, and they keep their second. So this person goes out there and they make a sale, right? How much do you keep? You keep $125. Well, this is how a power line system works, though, is this person here also passes up their first sale and keeps their second sale. So this person goes here, and they bring in a person, $125 a month from that person. This person could be a customer, they could be an affiliate and a customer. These are commissions on products that we sell. Does it make sense? So just get people to watch this DVD. So you say, well, how do I get those people? Make a list, get them to watch this DVD, ask them, what'd you like best about what you saw? Sounds like you're ready to get started, right? So now you've got a person brings in a person. Now one person has just turned into, right, $325 in commissions a month, right? Now, here's the way that this works. So, you're building your organization. What I always say is this. You're also going to pass up this sale because it's your third one, then you're going to keep this next one here. So you're going to keep $125 a month from this one, right? So what I always say is this. You're not just trying to get a new customer, to get a new affiliate. You want to get one to get one. And what does that mean? It means as you're bringing people in, you bring them in a way where they see it and they say, that makes so much sense, I could do that. And so they repeat the process, and when they repeat the process, it works, and it goes and it gets another person. And how do you do that? Well, you show them this video. Because as they're watching this video, they're going to say, shoot, I could get people to watch this video. That's easy. It is, isn't it? I don't even have to do the selling. I don't have to have that long word here. I can just get them to watch the video. When people watch the video, they're going to make a decision, just like you're making a decision. They're going to see this video. They're going to say, holy smokes, that looks simple. I can do that. And then they're going to get somebody to watch the video, and then they're going to start bringing people in like that. So get one to get one. Well, as this goes down, think about it like this. A total of 10 people, right? A total of 10, you've got $1,250 a month. Right? So how do you really transition from one phase to another? Well, there's a couple ways of doing it. You could go get all those people yourself, right? Or what you could do is you could go find 10, right? And what do? Well, if you just go out with those 10 and help them get 5, right? And you help them get 5 like this. Now all of a sudden, you went from making $1,250 a month to $6,250 because you've got 50 people by helping 10 get 5. Get one to get one, right? Well, how do you become a professional, get a professional level income here? What if you just helped each of them bring in 2, right? Folks, we're talking about small numbers because here's this. So you get this person's first one, and because they're connected to you on the power line, you also get their first one. Because they're connected to you on the power line, you also get their first one. Now here's the thing though. Any one of those people, they're also passing up 1, 3, 5 in every 5th. So what does that mean? That means this person here, he goes out and he makes a sale. Well, that means he's going to make $125 a month. But his third sale, right? His third sale, you're making $125 a month. Now check this out. This person's 1, 3, 5 in every 5th are also connected to you. Can you see how simple it is to get 10 people, 25, 50, and 100? It's just a matter of building your business in a way that people can do. And this is the simplest thing you've ever seen in your life. 50 people, full-time income, right? Does that make sense to you? Is that simple for you? Does that make sense how easy that to do? So what do? Make a list, get them to watch this video, ask them the 2 questions. What did you like best about what you saw? And sounds like you're ready to get started. And they will be, right? 1 in 20 people walking around is in a home business right now, and none of them know how to do this. None of them know how simple this can be. None of them have access to this tools, training, information. They'll all buy it and they'll come in, a lot of them as customers, right? This is how our organization builds, but here's the key, and this is where it really starts to get awesome. This is where just it takes on a whole new dimension. We also have other products that people could buy. Now, I'm not going to talk about those products right now because I want to show simplicity here. All right, but you can earn from a single person coming in an extra $2,000, an extra $27, up to an extra $3,000, right? And about 1 in 5 of the people in your organization are going to upgrade to those products. Okay, whether you do it or not, they're going to upgrade, right? Now here's the key behind that. They're going to do it and they're going to buy additional products. When they do, imagine this for a second, and those products were the same. You can have a person, they come down here, let's say you bring in 5 people your first month, so you're kind of trucking $500 a month, you got going, right? But then this 5th person, right, the 4th person, you earn a $2,000 commission. Now we're talking cool. Now we're talking as you're building up to this level, there's a lot more coming into your organization. A lot simpler, a lot bigger, from a lot fewer people. And you'll see what those products are after you decide to join, after you get in, after you do that, all right? That's how simple it is. Can you see how simple that is? Bring in 10 people. We're talking total, right? Total. That is the simplest model you've ever seen in your entire life. How do you do it? Make a list, give them to watch this video, ask them the 2 questions. So there's no risk to you in that. Now, here's what I'd be doing if I saw this video. I'd be looking for a telephone. If the person who sent me here was long distance, I would be looking over and trying to find an application. If I was in a room, if I had an application, it would be getting filled out, hoping I get in before everybody else gets in, right? And I would be running that application to whoever invited me. If I was in a meeting, I'd be saying, get me in right now, here's my application. If I was on the internet, I'd be clicking that button. But the order form would be filling itself out because my credit card would have been out 30 minutes ago. We're only talking about $197, right? It's not a big deal. Now, here's the next part though. Why should you do this right now? Why do you need to do it right now? Here's what I want you to think about. We have already proven ourselves. This is not some theory. We have done in the last 2.5 years, $100 million in sales. We've created 13 millionaires. We've created 43 people that have made over $500,000, 143 that have made over $100,000. A lot of people have succeeded with this at various different levels. A whole bunch more than you think, right? we're going to create a lot more. We've got an announcement coming up at our next major event, and I'm telling you something, it is going to take that, what we've done, and multiply it by 5 times. My prediction is actually bigger than that, but I believe it's going to be 5 times. This is a rare opportunity where you're going to get a proven model right before something big's about to happen. I'm not going to tell you what it is right now, and you get to be first. Before the massive multilingual expansion, before the massive international expansion, you're gonna be first. And this is the metaphor I like to use. It's like a train, right? It's like a train of riches is going by, right? And it's stopping in your town. I used to live in England. When I lived in England, when I moved from town to town, I used to get on the train and go to the next town. And if you missed the train, you missed it. You had to wait for the next train. But this isn't a train that comes by every 15 minutes. This is like a train that comes by once in your lifetime. And if you don't get on, you miss the train. And the train has come by and it's stopped and it's saying, I'm inviting you to get on with me. I'm inviting you to come join me. I'm invited you to make a decision. I'm invited you to take massive action, to decide to do this right now. I'm inviting you to be a part of the train, right? And you either get on the train or you don't get on the train. And if you don't get on the train, here's the key. The train is going to $100 millionaires a year. If you're not on it, or if you're on it, doesn't matter to me. What matters is, it's your time. It's your time. It's your time. If you really want to do something great, it's your time. That's what I want you to understand. It's your time, right? So here's what you got to do. Get back to the person that invited this to you. If they're in the room saying, get me the application, fill out that application, pull out your credit card, and make a decision right now. If you're on the internet, hit the button and join, right? If you're in a meeting, just run to the application and just get in. Just get in, right? You know, my son was born about 4 months ago. I have a 4-month-old. His name is Gabriel, and he's like this pride in my life, right? He's just a love baby. You know, I look in his eyes and I see me. When he came out, he had my curly hair and my big old weird hands, right? Probably have my goofy laugh later in his life. This kid, he comes out, and here's something that I haven't shared a lot, is when he was being born, right, I'm gonna tell the whole story, there's a moment when I thought his mom was gonna die. She's the love of my life, right? I was scared out of my mind, right? Just for a second, I thought everything was gonna end. But I reached down inside myself, and I found a little courage, and I put my hand around her head, and I said, it's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay. 5 seconds later, crying, right? And I look over this little purple kid, and I remember the doctor, they brought him over to the mom. He brought him over to his mom, and she looked at him. I've never seen somebody look at something with more love than that, you know? I talked to my mom about that later. My mom had 7 kids, and she said, well, when you're a woman, you just love a baby from the time you're pregnant. It's just a weird thing most men don't understand. And here's what happened to me, though, in 1 second. In 1 second, I made a new decision about the world. Because in 1 second, it's like the way that I see things just change. All of a sudden, the world can't be about me anymore. All of a sudden, I have to start thinking about the future generations. All of a sudden, I have to do things in a bigger way because I've got other lives that are on the line. I've got other lives in the world. And sometimes you just got to reach down inside yourself. You got to make a decision. You're at a fork in the road, and you could go left and you could go right. You could make a decision to do it. You could make a decision to not do it. And you know what? 5 years from now, you know where you're going to be? You're going to be where the person 5 years ahead of you is right now is where you're going to be if you don't change something. But you could just make a decision. You could look 5 years down this road, and you could say, I'll tell you where I'm going to be in 5 years. I'm going to be at the top. I'll tell you, I ain't just bringing in 10 people. I'm getting to the next event with a team. You're saying, I'm not just getting in. I'm sponsoring my first person in the next 24 hours. You could say, I'm making a decision right now to do this. That's it, period. That's what you could say. And that's a different decision, isn't it? Pull out your credit card, run to the application or to the order form, call your sponsor, say, give me a link, and get in right now. Make a decision to get in. Make a decision to get in. And here's my invitation to you. You know, about 1.5 years ago, I had a guy who's in Empower. He's one of our $1 million earners, one of the 13 that we have right now. His name's Justin. He almost drowned. I saved him out of a waterfall, right? And I remember the look on his face because there's this water pushing him against. I actually got a video of this. It's on our blog. And I dove in, I grabbed him around the legs, and I threw him out, and then I barely made it out, right? But his face was white when he came out of the water. He'd never made money before that day, right? He'd never made money before that day. But here's what happened. He came up out of the water, and he made a new decision about life because he realized something. He realized any day could be my last. So here's what he did later that night. He looked me in the eye and he said, "You know what, Dave?" Put his hands out. And I grabbed him by the hand, looked him in the eye, and he said, "Let's lock arms and fight the forces of evil." And he made a decision to get in. And what are the forces of evil? It's being mediocre in your life. It's being average. It's living paycheck to paycheck. It's allowing your friends and your relatives to determine your destiny. It's forgetting that you had a dream one time and you just forget about it out of pain. He grabbed me by the hand and I'm reaching my hand out, looking you in the eye. And here's what I'm telling you. Pull out your credit card right now and just get in. Let's lock arms and fight the forces of evil.
Folks, obviously the income examples discussed in this video are extraordinary. The income claims presented are not intended to serve as a guarantee of income. Instead, they're designed to give you an idea of what's possible. Success in this business requires leadership, hard work, and dedication. Since we want to help you make an informed decision, we've gone above and beyond with our income disclosure document. If you want to see the average earnings, please visit the page at www.empowernetwork.com/income.php.